Machuku, a friend of Vote FM and, of course, a public affairs analyst. You're welcome, Mr. Tony.
Yes, uh, it's election day in America,
Mm-hmm.
and projections are trickling in. Projected winners are trickling. So for me, I want to wait for the umpire to formally make their results public, and we know. But for now, uh, projections tilt towards the Republican Party.
Okay, so but what is your projection?
Well, so far the election was clear. Democrats actually had an issue with the big time big boys in America.
Mm-hmm.
Kamala's election uh, uh, projections was very clear. They hinged on abortion rights that I thought would have also fetched or pulled out the women of America out to vote for the Democratic Party. But I also the economy that was targeted towards the middle class and the very vulnerable Americans.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think that's what they want, based on projected results that I saw late night and early this morning that's tilting towards the Republicans. So that means that inflation had its real time bite, just like in Nigerian case. From what I understand, you had housing inflations in America. You have gasoline inflation. You had grocery. That's what they call food inflation. You had health inflation, and too many challenges they were facing. And then the currency dollar internally was not actually working out for them. So you have more paper dollar or more quantity of dollar going for minor whatever. And then I heard Trump in one of his campaigns stating or saying that foreign imports, that he doesn't mind 100% tariff on that.
Okay.
And then that's the way of keeping American companies healthy. So when you bring the issues from Democrats angle and things like that, I thought that Kamala should have followed the direction of what exactly the DC was, the Democratic Party was doing in government. The program they had, and then the projections of that program, telling Americans that we have done this, we know you feel the pain, but this is exactly what this program is all about, and this where it was heading to. So I took note of this when the Republican alleged in several quarters in the country that she wasn't answering questions. But the benefit of this is that it's a very big lesson to government in Nigeria. Because even in Britain, destination like Britain, those that actually provided a ladder for Nigerian government to look inwardly, higher taxes, how do I put it, petroleum inflation, transportation inflation, housing inflation, all these things are biting on the people. And then the income, the GDP of Nigeria is so down that the paper money, the income base of an average Nigerian, not a rich Nigerian, can no longer afford anything. People just make money and then spend the same money, about 60, 65, 68% of their income on transport. They use that to ember. So the energy issue, just like in America, is the same thing here. So nobody's smiling, and then no new companies. But like here, so many SMEs, small medium entrepreneurship, are folding up because they are shutting down because one, they have rent issues. That's housing inflation. They have also issues of their residentials because majority of the people in the metropolis are not property owners, not land property and housing property owners. So you have majority of the people paying rent all over. So it's a very big lesson for the government down here And don't forget also that the Sunak a few days ago was in the British Parliament condemning the current Labour government, accusing it of higher inflations where the pound is next to zero, just like paper. That's he described it, say that the pound is now just like any paper any child could play with on the street. So when you begin to hear that kind of thing, then you begin. So there is need for an inward, for a backward retriever or a review of what the government here that is listening to World Bank and IMF is doing. Otherwise, they should remember that I kept emphasizing that it's no longer going to be a Nigerian political environment in 2027 where you come out, you bring money, you give to youth and things like that. People are going to collect that money and then still make sure that what happened in America happened in Nigeria, that there will be a change of government.
Do you believe, because the Americans, they have literal reasons I could see why the Republicans are taking the turn now, because as of this morning, Bitcoin has done a full swing to
Sure.
74,000.
Sure.
Okay, and that goes for other coins, and there's an excitement in the business world.
Sure.
All right, there is an excitement in the economic class,
Sure.
where they are celebrating that this guy is coming in. So
Yes.
I do understand you hammering on the fact that the inflation could be a serious point as to how this election is going in America. And then I like to bring it down here, like you said.
Okay.
One would think that we are hungry enough. But as we speak, there are state elections happening in Nigeria presently. And what you said about what is happening in America, taking place here in 2027, I'm not as hopeful, because I'm seeing how the elections, the state elections, the ones that are yet to happen, we're waiting for Anambra in a couple of weeks. There's Ondo and Oshun and the rest of them that are still going to run. And we've seen that the APC are very boldly taking up those states. So why do you think this will be different in 2027?
Yes. What exactly I see, because in Nigeria you will notice that the Nigerian voter, there's an apathy behavior by the Nigerian voters in what you call the state local government elections.
Okay.
And for the Nigerian voter trusts the INEC organized the election than the state electoral commissions organized the election. And then if you recall or remember, you will notice that victories earned by political parties in local government election does not replicate or translate into national elections.
Of course.
People are more interested because they believe that their votes will count despite plus minus or minus plus, that their votes will still count. But in the local government elections, they believe that their votes doesn't count, that something just happened and then the state electoral commissions declare voter party in power the winner of that.
Which they are not wrong for thinking, though.
They are very wrong.
Okay.
No, the people are not wrong in thinking that way, because in the national election, where you have governorship and House of Assembly elections, you have House of Reps and Senate elections, and you have the presidential elections. So you see the results feed out instantly. Remember that the rigger is human. Remember that the falsifier is human. And it is not always easy, just like I saw something that happened in the House of Assembly of Enugu State, Enugu South Urban precisely.
Okay.
So that's where you see that people now say, but let me tell us that this election for 2027 is not just going to be an election. It's going to be a real-time struggle between Nigerians, the working class, the business community, and the unemployed. These are the three secular, or what I call the angular voter base that
For
they got
2027.
for 2027 that governments in power across the country will contend with, and it will be difficult to contend with the business class.
Do you believe that these groups of people are now ready? Because there's been a silence, and I'm thinking that you're counting on that silence. Do you
No,
believe that these
yes,
three
the
groups
silence,
of Nigerians?
the silence, they have testosterone.
Okay.
Which
people have
the people, Nigerians have testosterone the administration.
Okay.
Number one is that they discovered that the administrations you have today have tendencies. They have inputs of authoritarianism. If I should say that it's like you have a fascist regime,
it's looking like that.
It's looking like that. So now they have testosterone that they've remarked that. Then two is that they have noticed that the government is more interested in what I call the Babiala economy. That is where the government will say, okay, give them 50 bags of rice or give them 100 bags of rice. They don't have interest of conversion. Now, businesses that is folding up are folding up on two factors. One, the energy factor. Two, housing factor. Because housing rents, shop rents is on a very high side. And it's a very big issue because so many people that thought they have gained employment by opening up business shops are now found themselves in streets doing nothing but being chased about by organizations, financial institutions that they're indebted to. Now, finally, our financial law has not helped any situation for the business community in this country. Government have abandoned its responsibility, one of which is welfare. And if you're talking about welfare, the financial law of the country must embrace the business community, and it's not doing that. Because as I speak to you now, if you take a loan of just 20,000 naira from any lender, you are going to pay back 28,000 naira. Swift loan, fourth, or what I call just short term, mini term. Could be 2 weeks, could be 1 month.
I think the regular thing is 30 days.
30 days. So you are going to pay, you take 20,000, you are going to pay 28,000 naira in the instance. So you ask yourself, what will you sell with 20,000 naira? What will you buy with 20,000 naira that you earn profit of 8,000, which is loan interest, and then give yourself some interest that will also pay for energy, that will pay for electricity, that will pay for transportation, and etc. Buy food, take care of your children and things like that. Take care of your health and the rest of them. So for me, in truth, people in government are seeing people in the streets as although they don't mean anything. I don't know how they run their own personal homes, but Nigerians, this landmark occurrence in the United States will fly, because the truth is that the West control most democracies in Africa.
So I understand that a lot of Nigerians are rooting or were rooting for Trump to win. Do you think that the reasons that you've given are some of the reasons why Nigerians think that a Trump, a Trump presidency will favor Nigeria in any way? Because I feel like it won't really make a change, because in my opinion, the people we have here, even if there are influences from the outside world, I think they already have their grievance with the people. Because if someone was asking me to treat my family in the wrong way for whatever my benefit is, I believe that if I had some care or some love for my family, I would try to make that situation as easy on them as possible. So I'm thinking that it doesn't necessarily matter who becomes the president of America, and as it reflects on Nigerians. So I want you to clear that up for me. Is there any way that the presidency of America affects the leadership in Nigeria?
Trump's, President Trump's, let me call him former. He's yet to
he
was former. He's yet to be declared the winner. Former President Trump, from 2016 to 2020, his 4 years actually impacted because APC's, the All Progressive Congress of Nigeria, their victory in 2015. When you look at the information and then the leaning of the party, because there's no way you can be a Nigerian president, let's just be honest to ourselves, without the West support. It's not possible. And then the West support comes if they understand their benefits.
If they understand their benefits.
And if it's clear to them, they will do everything possible to ensure that the candidate they had to deal with emerges. Okay. So it happened to Jonathan. Jonathan was screwed out by the Democratic Party. That is just the truth.
Supported by the Republicans.
Supported by the Democrats, because Obama was the president then.
Okay.
And then I don't work with him. If I work with him, I'm not too close with him. But we all know, we have our informations from our contacts also in America, that big time penetrative contacts, and understand that environment. So Britain and America is the destination for any political business in Nigeria. Now, when Trump came on board in 2016, people was not able. They studied the situation and things like that, and then you watch that 2 years and 6 months into Buhari's regime, that was in 2017 upwards. There was a softening from the Buhari regime. And then it continued until the next election. Trump was still in power. And you saw government turning to what I call a fragrance gifter. So government was just printing money, pushing money, doing everything possible, because there was outcry and then there was clear monitor. If now that Nigerians are clapping their hands and things like that, now Trump has Obama left a prosperous economy, very robust economy that was flourishing for Trump then. Don't forget that was the issue of COVID that exited Trump in the 2020 election. So now that if Trump is declared the winner again, now what is going on in Britain that incited this regime? They supported this national government in Nigeria 100%. And then the guy there can now see, the president of Nigeria can now see, I mean the federal government in its entirety, can now see the impact of issues, especially inflationary issues in America, how it weighed out the Democratic Party. Because it's the people. Your vote is your power. And your voice is what? Is your spirit, is your soul, is your body. And then we are going to see things like this, because everybody in the home will say, no, these people have to go. The other day I bought a tuber of yam for 3,000 naira, and my income is just 30,000.
So you believe that there, at some point, Nigerians
I believe that once former President Trump is declared winner and inaugurated, first they will begin an inward thing. But he's not new on the job, so he knows, he has his program, he has his team. So the one they will hit the ground, both internally and externally. Because if you watch what he told the president of Ukraine, for instance, he declared Zelensky as the greatest marketer in the world. They asked him why. He comes to America every time and go home with $100 billion. So now, but they remember that the West also, they are mindful of the havocs their economic interests did in some or most of African destinations. Okay. They are mindful of that. And remember that they have data that made Trump that to sustain that immigration issues will be tackled head on. Who are they referring to? They were referring to us, Nigerians, especially. 55% of that resolution, apart from their neighbors, these South and North Americans, expanded South America and North Americans. So apart from them, the African people they were targeting, and then what it takes then to travel to America. It was not easy for anybody to process whatever, his papers, whatever.
But if it was okay, if he can incite or inspire changes in Africa,
definitely Trump will inspire. Definitely, okay. Don't think about that.
Because I'm wondering if Africans
he'll do that because they know
were comfortable
that
at home.
Reason is that
they wouldn't necessarily
they know that
America or any of these places.
They know Trump, despite being a bourgeois, knows that as long as their policies through their stooges continue to hit Africans, Africans will always be in the agitation and then continuous movement to move to their own locations and reside there. If nothing else, you can buy food cheap. But today, I don't think food is cheap in America anymore.
Well, America.
It's just about investment in agriculture.
A lot of people have cited gender differences and all of that. I consider those to be conspiracy theories. But then, from the look of things, the rich are more interested in this government as it gives them a lot more cushion. The rich, who are not necessarily blacks. Anyways, I will bring you back home here because we do have our own problems.
Yes.
Our own problems compound and they are new every morning. You can join the conversation this morning. Tell us your predictions, your observations of the elections if you are taking note, and what you think the results might do for us as Africans or Nigerians. Call 0706 048 5853. You can also call 0915 570 8347. I have Mr. Anthony Wachuku. He's a public affairs analyst and a good friend of Vote 104.3 FM. I want you to also join us live on YouTube. It's High Voltage News. Please like, subscribe, and share, and you'll be doing us a very big one. Okay, so the phone lines are officially open. Please call. We will take your calls now. We are ready to talk to you. Good morning.
Hello, good morning.
You're welcome, sir. Very fantastic. How are you? You're welcome.
Good morning.
Welcome, Amos. Welcome.
Yeah, I think this morning is quite very interesting because we have what I can call new colonialism. Okay? Because what I mean by new colonialism is that Nigeria is still under the control of the West. That is the reason why, during the build up to 2023 general election, you saw people be at Kashim Shetima and Tinubu, all of them, going to the London, to campaign there, to attract the foreign attention. Okay, that's to say that we still start the control of the world. Having said, for me personally, I would like Trump to win this election.
You would like Trump to win? Okay. Okay. Why would you like Trump to win?
The reason I would like Trump to win is that, Trump performed very well during his first tenure, in office. And beyond that, you saw that even during the build up to this election now, the incumbent, in can you remember me now?
I'm here. I'm listening to you.
Biden.
Biden, and of course Kamala.
Biden.
Mm-hmm.
So Biden, he was not ready for this election because of his health and age. And again, he relinquished his ambition to his deputy. And this cannot happen in Nigeria. Okay, that's the number one point.
Why do you think it cannot happen in Nigeria?
It cannot happen because the sit-down syndrome of our leaders can't even allow them to release such ambition. So there are no position. Do you understand me? Because you see what is going on today. Because of the selfish interest of Atiku Abubakar, that he thwarted what I call it, the policies of PDP, or what they have as their law or their regulations there. He thwarted it for him to to emerge as a flag bearer of PDP during 2023 general election. You understand me? This cannot be applicable to what Joe Biden did, because he saw that because of his health and because of his age, he couldn't make any impact in the election. He just simply relinquished that ambition to his deputy. Do you understand me?
I'm with you.
Okay. So, having said that, what I want to say is that whatever we say or whatever we do, whether we speak a marathon of English, the West still controls Nigeria. Thank you.
All right, Amos Chukwu, thank you so much for that beautiful contribution. You can also send us a text message or WhatsApp message, or you can call live into the studio to share your thoughts with us this morning. 0706 048 5853. Also call 0915 570 8347. And Amos thinks that the West still controls the affairs of this country. Do you agree with him? Good morning.
Hey, good morning.
Good morning, sir. You're welcome.
Okay, from Abba Road.
You're welcome, sir. How are you today?
I'm really fine. Good morning, sir.
Mine today.
My brother Darlon. That's what I said it all. You see, yes, there is a very big influence from the West, especially America. Could you remember when Jonathan was there? Jonathan wanted to crush Boko Haram and requested to buy arms, so not free arms, from America, because Jonathan did not want to abide the so-called same-sex marriage. Obama refused to release those arms.
No, I remember.
I
remember.
You see, if not for the so-called that Obama was insisting on Nigeria implementing and adopting same-sex marriage, he would have released those arms for us to crush Boko Haram, because at that stage Boko Haram was still at its early stage. So this is a lot of influence on us actually. And more importantly, I do not agree into that when somebody comes into power, that the West comes in is that, I'm sorry to use that word, West appears to support corruption here. Why? If you look, I'm an accountant, if you look at it, loan terms of World Bank and IMF will give you money and allow you to use it for all frivolities. But if you go to China, they will say no. If they want to give you loan, they must insist that it must be tied to a project. Not a situation where somebody will go and borrow 100 billion and he says distributing it for palliative, which will not get to any person.
We've never seen anybody receive these palliatives.
Yes,
Not once.
and this is what the West do, so that will go down if they don't support you. They will make sure that they give you loan that way. suffocate you, and at the end, you will not even do that. Use that.
But Mr. Okay, but whenever we say this, I find it hard to fathom because while all of this happens, we have seen how these monies and these loans and these aids are misappropriated here. Are the whites misappropriating it? Because this particular administration has complained of poverty in this country more than any administration ever to run this place, right? But they've been able to do some personal projects that are not even national concerns for their own selves, costing so much billions of Nigeria's money. Is this the white buying these private jets, doing these airstrips for religious institutions, repairing vice president's house with billions and billions of naira going into projects that we don't have any business with?
That's exactly what I'm saying. That the West will give you loan, and that's the way they support corruption.
That's the way they support corruption.
China will not give you money to go and start doing anything except they must tie it to a project like the one they gave us for this rail line. They say it must be for this rail line, and that they will even be in charge. That's to make sure that they recover their money. But the West will not, the IMF and World Bank will not do that. They will just give you money. That's what I'm saying, that they support corruption here.
Okay.
They will give you money and say you are distributing, oh good God.
Okay.
So that's the problem.
So these ones know that you're misappropriating the money, but they'll give you anyways.
Yes. So no, what I'm saying is that maybe I didn't get you very well.
I'm trying to understand. Mm.
Okay, now let's go back to Donald Trump. If Trump wins, I'll be very happy for one obvious reason.
Okay.
I hate this issue of sex marriage, same-sex marriage.
That is the only problem.
But same-sex marriage is in Exodus.
Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Okay, thank you very much. Okay, so this is about morality and what has to be what it is. Okay, Trump and same-sex marriages. Some people claim that he will return sanity to America. And then I ask if the people who say this really truly know the history of the man. But of course, that's just me thinking that
naturally, Trump is pro-life. That's what it is.
he's pro-life.
He's pro-life. He doesn't believe his view of abortion law that Kamala canvassed for begins and ends within what do you call child removal. So that's what I understand in the course of their arguments, and then what they said to people. So Trump simple understanding of abortion is about life taking. That's that. But the Democrats expanded that. Because I listened to Ms. Obama, one of her appearances, and she took time to explain that they need a law to that effect that can help women be in charge of their body. For instance, they talked about the menopause issue, that over time that has afflicted women. Some get blind, some get deaf.
Those issues,
breast cancer,
those issues,
cancers, and things like that.
Those issues are critical.
They are very critical.
They're critical, but I wouldn't base my campaign, based on that. I feel like
it was an issue. Remember that it
Yes.
was also the Trump regime that brought the issue to the Congress. It was an executive bill sponsored by
I remember.
Trump, and then it's still there. And then by next week, 10 states will be voting on the same issue. So, but that is for them. The thing we're saying is this. What I observe from the American politics is that don't fight the very rich when you are not ready to fight them. Don't fight
the very rich
when you are not ready to fight them.
Is this an American thing or a political thing?
It's an American political thing, but it's not just in America, it's also here. Because every billionaire in this country knows how many people that send them different requests, need requisitions in minute basis, on hourly basis. So they know what they're spending. They know what is going out of them. Me too, in my own little small capacity, knows what I'm also going through. Requisitions, pains, people want to go to hospital.
There's a lot going on,
too
especially
going
with
on.
what
So,
we have.
and you look, you ask yourself whether the people in government, where a president will come out and say, "I know you're hungry, but the pain is just for a while."
If you say it like that, I need to take a call, Mr. Tony. We need to hit the phone lines back. All right, sorry, apologies to the people who are trying to call. Please call back. We're ready for you. Good morning.
Hello?
You're welcome, sir. Good morning to you.
Maybe it's good one. You have kept me for so long.
I'm so sorry. We had to let Mr. Tony drop it before we take the calls. Sorry.
Good morning.
Yeah, good morning today.
Yeah. See, people are not talking about Trump's era during his regime, that Trump were able to create more than 4 million jobs. They are not saying it. They are not seeing the competency of the man. Rather, they're seeing the other side of the man. The man promised that he's going to create jobs, and he did that, which were lost during this administration. All the jobs he created were lost within the 3 months or 2 months of this administration. Those jobs were lost. So I'm thinking of someone who have the competence. Forget that he talks too much. Everybody has his own manners and character.
But what do you think about the problems he had with immigration and the kids that were being locked up away from their parents during his regime the last time? Did you remember that?
Why didn't they bring out those issues during his tenure? Why is it after?
I believe that America cried out more than ever during that time. So I don't know. It was never a silent. Kids, little kids. I saw. Everybody saw. Those kids were taken away from their parents and locked up, kept in very weird environments. Their parents had to.
They were described as illegals.
As illegals and kept in refugee camps. You saw that yourself.
See, every regime had its own bad side.
Okay.
Every regime. But what you have to do is let your bad side not be greater than your good side. That's the problem.
What about the COVID issue?
If you look at his manifestos when he came to power, you read through his manifestos, then you judge the man through his manifestos. You judge him whether he was able to keep at least 40% of his promise. That's what you judge in administration. You don't judge people when if my priority is not for security. Will you ask me about security? Did I tell you I'm going to do anything about security?
But it's a state need.
If I didn't say anything about housing, do you question me why I did not provide houses for people?
Okay, so the accountability is from the manifesto, not necessarily the performance.
That is why we, the electorate, should be very careful. You have to table your needs to those who are coming to you for vote. When you don't ask person to bring water for you, to give you good drinking water, and when you are crying for that the person did not give you any water, did you ask for it? That is the question we ask ourselves. It's that time we begin to know these things, that when these people are coming, we hold them by the jugular and we tell them this is what we need and this is what we don't need. When you don't make those proposals, there's no need crying foul. Did you ask the man? Did you just like we are when this man was coming in our own, he was telling us it was his turn, and you people are complaining. Nobody asked you what are you going to do with your turn. He was crying. He went to Kanu and said that all he wants to do is to dance. And people in Kanu are still expecting him to do something for them. What do you want him to do? Do you want him to continue to come there to be dancing for you?
If Trump wins, how do you think this will affect us as a nation? Because a lot of Nigerians, I even saw a picture of some people in the north,
dancing.
were dressed up and rooting for Trump, all the way from here. So I want you to tell us from your own observation, how would it favor us if Trump wins?
If Trump wins, he doesn't win. See, let me tell you, it can only favor the political leaders, not you.
The political
Because
leaders in
just like
Nigeria.
I told you, what they table to them is what they will do to them for them. You are not going there with the president. You are not going there to meet him. You know the issue of seat home. You know when the former president came to, you know the story. So when you came there, he went there. He saw him many times. There was no proposal. He wasn't saying anything. He was only coming on a felicitation visit, and the man took it like that. It is what you said. When Good Luck was crying for help from the last what is it called, Obama? What did Obama do? Obama refused to give him aid. Right? He also make sure Luck exit for. So we don't need to ask what we don't. We see if we are going to ask our leaders, we want to end Boko Haram. Let him help us to end Boko Haram, so that I can be like I have many things to go to the north, and I can't travel. I can't travel. I have a problem in me. I can't go. So I can't. When you make up your decision to go, and you hear that, so you copper within our area, he was kidnapped. Why coming back?
Okay,
so
Justice.
when you hear this story, how can you go? How can you travel?
Our roads are quite unsafe. We do know about that.
You see, it's rather you stay in let motor come and kill you in your house than for kidnappers to kidnap you on the road. I'm telling you honestly. So people should be very cautious. When these people come, tell them what you need. If people are of Enugu State, tell the president that they need the road, they need this and that. Then when he comes back, and you start asking him a question, where is the road you promised to give us? He was very, very clear on this. He was telling you that it is his stone. And what is he going to do with his stone? Nobody knows. And this is what he's doing, enjoying life to the fullest. Good morning.
Good morning, Justice.
Justice forgot. He forgot to also reason that the vote is for the party. The vote is for the party. The vote is not for the individual. The party nominates the individual that will discharge their mandate in office if they win.
Okay.
Good. So the manifesto issue that he's raising is strictly political. It's something that INEC should handle.
Okay.
Why? The party don't just fix speaker horns on the vehicle and they'll be saying KKK, and I come out and say, what's your program? No, it's the law, the rule from the regulator. I can announce, okay, now this is the problem Nigerians are going through. We are adding this. Make your manifestos public. Make your manifestos public.
I remember that you've said this before.
I said this,
yes.
And then until that begin to happen, so many people might also continue to walk into what I call political ditches unknowingly.
Okay, let me clear this up. So the Nigerian electorate assumes, right, that the policies that the candidate that is being presented is about to carry out are his personal vendetta. But you are saying now that this candidate that is forward is a representation of the manifesto of the party.
Yes.
So when this candidate comes out, we should ask them to provide the party's manifesto as what we are going to judge them from.
Good.
Not what they say they would do.
Good.
So we should ask for the manifesto. Could you elaborate more on this, just to educate the people?
See, in the first place, I have been a party officer, so I understand the party process.
Okay.
I see so many people aspire to be party candidates.
Aspire
To be party candidates.
Okay.
And then most of the people that aspire to be party candidates don't know about the party manifesto. Most of them even have not come across the party constitution.
But they are members of the
But
party.
they are members of the party. So they are not really got GOP, I mean. They are not, most of them are freshers.
Okay.
They don't know what the party is talking about. But it is upon the party, having seen the economic situation of the country, and then the socio-economic situation of the country, they have seen that. And they have seen that governments have no solutions to most of the things that is happening.
Okay.
Rather, government is widening the inflationary gully and is consuming. So there is need for political parties to do what? Once you register as a member, every member should be able to pay a token for the party manifesto. So you go home and read it. You know what the party says they will do in health, they will do in education, they will do in infrastructural development, roads, and then utility provisions, and then energy, the business community, small, medium entrepreneurship, MSMEs, and then the large corporations. So, and you see the tax policy of the party, where they win. This is how they will do this, because all these things that you see are not known to people that run for power. If the party wins and then the mandate discharger goes into office, it takes them time. But if they are equipped, they won, they know the party manifesto and things like that, then they hit the ground immediately. They hit the ground immediately. Watch out. People that have been to government, you will notice that for in the instance of the APC national led federal government, now you see that somebody is bringing a state template, the template used in governing a state as a governor. He doesn't know the wider Nigeria population. He doesn't know the wider Nigerian needs.
He had a campaign committee.
That's exactly what I'm saying. They had all that, and then like Justice said that he came to Kano and said he wants to dance, and then at the point where he said he wants to dance, the gatherings that was there is like fanfare. He came there to address them and things like that. He couldn't sell any market. He couldn't sell anything. He couldn't sell healthcare. He couldn't sell infrastructural development. He couldn't sell education. He couldn't address them on anything. What I mean selling, I mean
he had nothing to sell.
He has no product to sell. All he came was to dance. So, and at that point, the people should have reacted. We don't need your dance.
Okay. We
care to see or to know what your program is on health, whatever is on education, agriculture, and things like that. We want to hear you. We want to know what your financial laws, what you understand about the existing financial law, and what your party propositions for review on that or sustenance of it by way of implementation. That means the CBN, whatever thing you look about it, what their policies and things like that. So these things are businesses of the people, for the people, by the people. Nobody can take it away from them. Even if anybody is rigged into power, you are still going to preside in that power because you didn't come to power by coup. Even if you came by coup, you are led by people. So governance have always been for the people, by the people, and for the people. So there is need for political parties to rethink and begin to make their manifestos public, because in 2027 elections, yes, I know. In 2020, sorry for you, just 1 second. 2027 elections, issues of housing will crop up, issues of energy will crop up, issues of health, education, issues of agriculture will crop up, issues of transportation will crop up. So many issues are going to crop up. Issues of taxes will crop
Mr.
up.
Tony. Thank you so much for coming on the show this morning. You have been listening to Mr. Anthony Nwachukwu, public affairs analyst and friend of Vote 104.3 FM. Thank you so much for joining me this morning. You heard the advice that Mr. Tony had to give to you, to fellow Nigerians, to the electorate, not just in the good books and in politics.
Political
out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth would speak. So when they tell you that they've come to dance and that they've come to, make some statements, Yes, you better believe it, because you remember I have come to reduce the purchasing power of the people, and today you cannot count the monies in your pocket. So please, when you're out there, look out, be sharp as a tack, and keep your head straight, okay? Try your best to keep your head up, all right? Remember to take care of your mental health. Remember to look after yourself and your neighbors. Take care of yourself. I'll see you again tomorrow morning. My name is Mavis Atudume. Have a good day.